Hey guys, my name is Nicolette Mashile. I am also known as the Financial Bunny. Welcome to the Financial Bunny TV. Today I want to talk a little bit about Flisp, the subsidy by the government. And it's really just a refresher for those who are new on the channel and maybe you have not heard about the subsidy that the government does grant first-time home owners or home buyers rather in South Africa. So we'll get into a little bit of that. Do remember none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are, however, looking for financial advice, please do speak to somebody that is certified and registered with the FSCA. In actual fact, the only reason why I remembered this is because I was going through some properties yesterday. So I'm selling one of my properties, but you have like guilt, especially when you're selling a property because it's an asset that you must keep. And everybody always speaks about property being this holy grail of an asset class. It's a capital appreciating asset. So I felt a little bit bad because, psychologically, most of us, when we are selling a property or you are expecting money, you actually start spending it in your head even before the money actually hits your bank account. And I was worried because I was like, what if the bond doesn't actually go through? So because there is an offer to purchase, but I was like, what if the bond doesn't even go through? Now I have already planned for this money and I might not have it. But anyway, for me, I didn't really spend the money. I was just planning on how I was going to kind of divide the proceeds from the sale so that I use the money as optimal as possible. And one of those is because I feel guilty. So I thought, you know what, let me buy a cheaper apartment so that I didn't lose an apartment for nothing. So I'm losing an apartment but buying another one just so that I can keep, money in the property space, right? Anyway, so as I was going through some of the properties on Property 24, I actually stumbled up. In actual fact, let me just be honest. I put that there. One of my filters for prices was below 500,000 rand. So I was looking for properties below 500,000 rand. And me, I'm very ambitious. I was even looking for 2 bedrooms below 500,000 rand. And I did find quite a lot. But the one that I actually found was a property that was 229,000 rand. And I was like, wow, they're actually flat out there. And I was looking in Ferndale, which is Ferndale in Randburg. And I found a flat for 229,000 rand. And mind you, it's not even in Windsor. Because people say, yeah, but you're going to buy in Windsor. Windsor's not a great place to buy property, but it's not even in Windsor. It's actually in Ferndale. And I was quite impressed with that. So I was like, actually, there is a possibility for people to tap into the property sector. And I thought about the Flisp subsidy as being that one way in which our government in South Africa does help South Africans to be able to own their own properties. So I want to talk a little bit about the Flisp subsidy rather, but I do want to make sure that it's clear from the beginning that this is not going to be an easy application process, just like any other government application process. It's very, very difficult. Where there is human intervention, things do become a little bit difficult. But also, let's be kind and fair to the government. There's quite a number of people who are in need of a grant like this. So I'm sure the offices of the guys at Flisp receive numerous amount of applications every single month, and they've got to sift through all of those applications and make sure that the people who are deserving and actually qualify do get it. Is there in any way which they're giving it to their friends? Of course. Is there probably corruption in there? Of course. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to dispute that, but I've got nothing. I can't influence that process. I don't work in a Flisp department, and I'm very sure that there are very honest people that work in those departments. I do know that some of the institutions, for instance, like Uber, I was sitting on their website, they do help you with the Flisp application process. They obviously have better connections with these Flisp what do you call them, with the Flisp officers. However, there is that one catch, and I'll talk a little bit about it. So let's start off with who qualifies for this Flisp subsidy, right? So it's a government subsidy by the South African government. So the first step is you've got to be a South African citizen, right? You do also need to be above the age of 18. The next thing is that you do need to either be married, cohabiting, or be single, but have financial dependence. So you do need to have financial dependence. Now, financial dependence are not necessarily just your children. It could be, for instance, your mom, your dad, your sister's children, anybody that lives with you and is dependent on you financially will qualify as a financial dependent. You may need to prove that those people are financial dependent. So this is like you're paying for them every single month. You are taking care of them financially, right? So that's very, very important. Then the next one is you do need to be somebody that is not on any other title deed. So you can't your husband couldn't have added you on his title deed, and if you are married in community of property, do remember that if your husband does have a property and you're married in community of property, that property is also yours, so you will not qualify for it. You do need to be somebody who's never ever owned a home, is on no title deed, must have also never received an RDP from the government. So that's quite key, right? The second part of it is that the third part of it is that you must earn a salary between 3,501 and 22,000 South African rands. So you do need to have that type of a salary. So how the Flisp subsidy works is that the government will give you a specific amount of money. There is a table. I'm going to share the table. You probably can see it on screen now. The table tells you how much you can unlock depending on your salary. So the lower you earn, the more money you can unlock. So for instance, somebody earning 3,501 can actually unlock up to 130,000 rand, right? And somebody earning 6,000 rand can unlock up to 114,000 rand. So it goes that way. So at the bottom, which is the 22,000 rand earners, or between 21 to 22,000 rand, you're probably going to unlock like 21,000 rand. So that's essentially how it works. The more money you earn, the less you're going to unlock. The less money you earn, the more money you're going to unlock. Again, it is a very socialist move from the government to try and help South Africans own their properties or own their homes. Here is the catch that a lot of people get caught in. You do need to find a property. So you do need to go out there and look for a property. Step number 1. Step number 2, you do need to put in an offer to purchase. Remember, with the offer to purchase, please make sure that you are actually editing that offer to purchase so that it is to your liking and to your preferences. So things like which bank, the term of the loan period, the interest rate that you want to pay, right? Then you do need to get a bond approval. So you do need a home loan approval. So one of the banks must approve you for a home loan first. It is mandatory. They will not even look at your application if you do not have a home loan approved. Once you have a home loan approved, then you go and apply for the Flisp subsidy. You need to submit all of those documents that are needed. Whatever needs to be patient. I know how irritating it is. Guys, I'm doing a registration for an NPC on CIPC. And let me tell you, it is small things that they just don't make sense to me, why the government makes it so difficult. Certification of, your ID and all of those police clearances. Obviously, this is not for CIPC, but I'm just saying, if that is what is required, please make sure that you are doing all of those things. If you just follow the application process to the T, I'm not saying it's going to guarantee you getting that Flisp approved. However, I'm saying it's going to make it less likely that they don't approve you. You can pull in partners. As I said, if you apply, for instance, for your home loan via Uber, which is OOBA, they can then do the Flisp application for you. Then they're going to pay the funds. They're not going to pay the funds into your personal bank account. They're going to pay them into the bank that is offering you a home loan, or the one that you have signed for this home loan. So they'll pay it in there. Why would you even consider this? Because it will incredibly lower your chances of paying less when it comes to your home loan. And it does actually improve. So for instance, Uber says that it improves your chances of getting a home loan, because when they apply for you for a home loan, they will make a note that you are going to apply for Flisp, right? That helps the bank, because then the bank knows that if you do qualify, whatever amount is going to be put into their bank, and they essentially are going to get at least some amount of money, of the money that you're going to owe them in principle, if you do have the home loan. So for instance, if you are buying a property worth 300,000 rand and you get a Flisp subsidy of even 100,000 rand, you are essentially going to be paying the bank only 200,000 rand back. That is actually something, guys. I know that we don't have a lot of trust in the government, but I do think that is something. So do look into that. Remember, none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are, however, looking for financial advice, please do speak to somebody who's certified and registered with the FSCA. I'm going to leave it at that. Mwah.